Hey, what to do, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Game Talk. Today, I got somebody special. To me, this is the first person that introduced me into the gaming life, the entrepreneur life, and he's been a real big pillar to the family. So today, I got my uncle Craig, but also the owner of Holland Picks.
Yes. What's up, man? What's up, nephew?
How you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on here tonight. You know, I got home from work, got set up. I'm ready to rock and roll. So Holland Toy Flicks in the house.
Right, and that's your Instagram and what's your Facebook? So your Instagram is Holland Toy Picks, and then how can they follow you on Facebook?
Yeah, Holland Toy Flicks on Instagram, Holland Toy Flicks on YouTube, and you can follow me on Facebook under Craig Holland. So it's Craig Holland, Craig Holland, Holland. But you could get me on Instagram. That's where I show a lot of my stuff on Instagram. So Holland, Holland, Toy Flicks, TOYFLICKS at Instagram. So you can follow me on there and you can see all my work from there.
Hey man, y'all better go check him out. And I ain't just saying this because he my uncle, but his stuff is really good. We're gonna get into it. But a little bit of background of why I got this headband on, because I'm taking this serious. And this is a game that he hasn't played in a long time. And as y'all know, I'm undefeated right now. So I'm hoping that it stays that way. So this man used to pick me up from my house and bring me to his house so that we could play 2K all day. He couldn't beat me. But I'll give him his credit because I could never beat him in Madden. So we one-on-one on games. He couldn't beat me in 2K. I couldn't beat him in Madden. So I'm hoping that this Smash game puts me in victorious of the best gamer in the family. Because it's only us two. I don't think nobody else. Devon is okay, but I don't think nobody else could top us two. We're probably the top two. Michael, he's okay, but I'm hoping this puts me number one.
Hey, listen, Damir is tight.
Yeah, Damir is good too. I think it put me out of the arena, so I'm about to create it. One more time.
Yeah. Just let me know. But yeah, Damir, listen, your cousin Amari is getting good, man. That's all he do now is on 2K.
Hey man, he gonna have to play me
on the courts and all that.
Yeah. I'm the 2K king. Nice. I'm the 2K king. I ain't gonna tell him how you cut the game off.
Oh man. We ain't gonna talk about when down in Maryland you got mad because I did get you in the garage when we was playing. You got mad. I got you that one time.
That was after you turned the game off though. So you got to get back. I ain't gonna say I dust him, but I'm pretty sure if I had to make a guesstimate, the record is probably like 50-10.
Oh, come on. Listen, I'm like your pop-pop. What he used to say is his reflexes ain't no more good.
Yeah.
He used to say his reflexes and his fingers got too big to play the games back in the day.
I know. That's why he got on the Wii later on in life where he could just bowl. I just recreated the
okay.
So it should let you back in.
All right, there we go. I'm coming in.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
All right, so guys, y'all already know before we get into this episode, before we get into a little bit more talking, we got to give it up to the sponsors that are making this happen. Big shout outs to Moss and More. They are a CMOS company located in Mississippi. As you know, JFL also does marketing for them guys. Check them out. They have a vending machine coming in the mall pretty soon. And their website, you're going to see it below in the description. Here's a little video to show you all their products and all they have to offer.
What's up, CMOS gang? It's your girl, Miss Moss Boss, and this is our new CMOS vending machine. We have our juices, our gels. We have different flavors now: pineapple, strawberry, and dragon fruit. Pills, CMOS gummies, our raw CMOS, and our CMOS face serum. We are located at North Park Mall in Richland, Mississippi. This is the first CMOS vending machine for the state of Mississippi, so please come in and support. Thank you.
All right, what to do? So we back. So everybody know I got rules. I'm like Nick Cannon when it comes to this. I set the rules so that I can win because I be cheating. So we got 3 rules with Game Talk. The first rule is if you win with the character, you cannot use that character again the next game. So you have to pick a whole nother character. So you like for me, I like Cloud. So if I beat you with Cloud the first game, I can't pick him the second game. But if I lose to you the second game, then I can come back and pick him on the third game. We do best out of 3. So if I 2-0 you or you 2-0 me, then we'll play a bonus game just so the fans can get the questions that are answered out. So far, I haven't 2-0'd anybody, and I haven't been 2-0. So, and then the third rule is that if you don't answer the question within 10 seconds, you have to forfeit a life. So I don't got to answer questions. So that's for y'all. That's for you. If I ask you a question and you don't answer it back within 10 seconds, then you have to forfeit a life no matter what health you at. And if it's your last life, you know, I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Okay.
Right. And then the last rule, just have fun, man. You know, we're here to have fun. I wanted to do something different with entrepreneurs. Most entrepreneurs, they sit up and, you know, they give you the wake up, you know, 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, drink an egg and, you know, get to it. But I wanted to show the fun side that, you know, we also have fun as well outside of working and stuff like that. All right, guys. So we about to pick our characters. So you already know who I'm rolling with. I'm picking Cloud first. I don't know who he's going to pick, but that's who I'm picking. I'm trying to get the dub first round.
Text the new 12-ounce energy drink family. All flavors switching to new larger size. Same great taste. A symbol of a lightning bolt. Text 114 milligrams caffeine. Delicious natural flavors. 0 added sugar. Mega dose of B vitamins. People perform various exercises. Several friends cheers their energy drinks together. Text more energy for more. Adventures. Performance. Connections. Opportunities. Independence. XS energy drinks.
So that's my next question. So like how long does it take you to like create the action figures and then also to like create the you know, the background for it? You got
Mario, I thought it was.
I don't think you switched your person.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, it could take it could be very quickly depending on what I want to shoot. It's very laggy. Yeah. Depending on what I want to shoot, it could be quick, or sometimes it could take up to hours for a good setup. What makes a good setup with these action figures, you could take a picture of, like, say you put it on your desk, or if it's on your kitchen or something, your kitchen counter. If you could put it on your kitchen counter, just take a picture of it. But what you want to have is some good background. So I buy a lot of accessories. So when I go to like Walmart or Target, even like comic book and collectible stores, I call them ingredients. So I buy like things for my backgrounds to make the pictures look real good and make it realistic.
Gotcha. Mario? So you say you go to places like Walmart and Target. I think that's interesting because the way that you know, you have it set up, I would have thought, you know, it was like some crazy, you know, budget that you had because it looks professional. Like, honestly, it looks like you can, you know, start your own like cartoon with this. So, you know, I guess my next question would be like, what piece of advice would you give somebody who is also interested in the field that you are in and, you know, want to get into, you know, taking pictures of action figures?
So I will say, just, you know, get better, stay in your lane, kind of take advice from people, you know, look at different people's work, but don't think that you'll become a professional overnight because, again, I'm still learning a lot of stuff. And, you know, you don't want to compare yourself to somebody and then get disappointed when you don't get the likes and things like that, because a lot of people post on Instagram. And as we know, the algorithm is strong. So if you don't have that good following, or you don't have, you know, it takes a lot for your pictures to get out there. So you got to get a consistent fan base. So I have my regular people. If I get like 30 likes, I'm cool. Some of them get 100 likes and things like that. But I know like people that really admire my stuff, they're like really good fans.
Yeah. I just made a post about that last night. Because, you know, I used to work for Facebook before, you know, obviously I went into production for a time. And so I was telling people that, you know, some of the people who ran the best ads or some of the people who had some of the best sales that I work with there weren't always people who had a lot of followers. The followers only work if you also have that fan base, like you were talking. That fan base, means a lot. And I had made on that post, Ruffles, the chip brand, they only have 244,000 Instagram followers, and that's less than a lot of people who are like influencers and stuff like that, but they make more in a day than those influencers make in a year. So I do think it's really you killed yourself.
Oh no, come on, get up there.
Go. You about to get 3-stock. You about to get 3-stock, man. We smell it 3-stock. When we say a game talk, 3-stock, 3-stock. I thought you was about to try to spike me right there. But yeah, I really think that support base is good, and I like that you said that you have to know, your support base. You have to know, what your margins are. The fact that like, hey, 30 likes for me is good. A lot of people oh my goodness, no 3-stock. But a lot of people would, look at it differently and say, hey, I only got 30 likes. But you like, hey, nah, for where I'm at, 30 likes is good. And I like that. That shows that you actually care about your brand and craft. That takes maturity as an entrepreneur, to know that.
Yeah, we also got to look at it like this. With toy photography, it's very competitive. A lot of people might say toy photography, but if you go online and look, you'll see so many people that do it.
Right.
Whether they're good or not, but art is in the eye of the beholder, right? Yeah. I may have something really thorough, right? And I'm like, this is amazing. I used a $1,000 lens, a $2,000 camera. My setup was amazing, and may only get a few likes. Whereas though somebody I'm looking at, I might be like, my stuff looks better than that. but it's what the person looks at as art. Because sometimes we go into a museum and we saying that picture really is worth that much money. It's what people see as the ideas, is the creativity. Like you can have the most expensive action figure, the most expensive setup, take the best picture, but if it doesn't tell a story or it looks like you Photoshop the crap out of it, people will see that and they won't really bang with it like that. But I'm really blessed that I won some contests. I won a lot of contests, and people really like my work. So I'm thankful for that,
Yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to ask you next. I don't know if you want to change your character. You do so by clicking on the action figure at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
But I was going to ask you about that, like awards and stuff like that. Because I've been in a few magazines and we got nominated for a few awards, but I think a lot of entrepreneurs don't actually know how to get into those spaces where they actually can get around those people. So like, how did that come about with you with winning the awards and getting in that space and vicinity of people?
It's just about frequent being on different websites, I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, a lot of toy photography groups, a lot of action figure groups. And certain companies do contests. So like, for example, can I say a company's name on here?
Yeah, you can say a company's name.
Is it
Yeah.
Okay, so Mezgo, they make figures this 112 scale. So 112 scale is 6-inch to 7-inch action figures. Right. So, and they make them with soft goods. So they look really realistic. They have soft goods and they look real. When I first started seeing them years ago, before I even started doing toy photography, I used to call them dolls. I'm like, these look like dolls. They got clothes and all this stuff. But when I got my first one, I was like, this is amazing. So they have like a contest called Mezgo Mondays. So what you would do is you would pose one of their figures with they have these little mascots, they call it like these little mascots, grubs or some grubs. You will post the action figure with some grubs and you post and tag them Mezgo Mondays with the hashtag, and then if they select your post, you can win an action figure. They post you on their website or on their Instagram and Facebook and congratulate you. And then they give you a choice of one of three figures that you could pick from. I've won Mezgo Monday 3 times. So, not many people even win it too. So I won it 3 times. So that was a big feat for me. Even as far as winning banner contests. So some of the toy photography and collectible groups. They have like weekly contests or monthly contests, and if your picture wins, then your picture is the banner for whatever, a week or for a month. So that's a way to get some type of publicity, get your name out there, get your pictures out there, and just being involved in a lot of things like this on people's chats. I'm about to start my podcast back up. Me and a buddy named Jason, we had a podcast called Chat and Unboxing, where we would chat and unbox the action figure that we picked up that week. So we would pick an action figure, unbox it, and talk. So it would be chat and unboxing. So that's coming back soon.
Hey, plug that in. Make sure y'all tap in. I seen a little bit of that on your page too, as well. Cool. So before we get into this next match, well, I'm pretty sure I'm about to 2-0 them. We got to give another big shout out to another sponsor of ours called Deborah's Creation. Hey, what to do? So we tapping back in. We got the second round. He has Link. Oh, Link is a tricky person, as y'all know. I never beat Justin with Link. And I have my main man, Captain Falcon, who was my second pick after Cloud. So I got a question. So do you make the action figures yourself, or do you like buy them and then you set the scenery up?
I buy them. So there's some people that do custom action figures. I'm not a customizer. Right. But I buy them. I started off again like with figures that's in the range of anything from $9.99 to $20. But now what I do, a lot of my collection is more a little more expensive. So I collect a lot of 1/6 scale now. So what 1/6 scale now is like 12-inch action figures.
Right.
Oh, come on. Oh, man.
It's tricky to play while you asking these questions.
Yeah. So the 1/6 scale, which is you'll see those in back of me right now. I just set up my new display setup in my desk area. So those are 1/6 scale. So they're very highly detailed, expensive figures. And again, you could get the same effect and results with a figure that costs $9.99 to $20 on sale figures. But I like the high quality because the head sculpts are really detailed. The soft good clothing is really stitched well. The paint apps are good. So I look for all of that to make my pictures really good, and they last a lot longer.
Yeah. I tried to spike you, it didn't work out. Oh man. So for me, as long as I know you, but obviously some people don't know. I know ever since I know you, you always had like a passion for comics and action figures and like toys. But what inspired that? I heard from the family it's been since you were a little kid. But what triggered that and what inspired that to let you know hey, yeah, this is my passion. This is what I like to do. Oh my goodness, I am getting cooked.
I think a lot of that started with your cousin Dante and Chris when we were younger. We used to go over there. Oh man, I got clean.
Say that. Hey, yo.
So we used to go over there and over his house, over their house every Fridays. I would want to go over there when we were younger. Of course, back then we didn't have I didn't have a lot of the G.I. Joes and Transformers, the video game systems. But Dante and Chris, they had the Ataris, they had the Super Nintendos first. They had all the He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers. So when I went over there, it was just you had everything, and I kind of fell in love with it.
Right.
And then as I was in school, I got my G.I. Joes, and they were so far in between of me getting them. I would treat them with so much care. So because I would get one every year or something. Yeah. So it was I really appreciated them. And it was like a work of art to me too. I think more so when I got into high school, middle school and high school, the comic books were there. I was so into comic books back in 9th grade I didn't do too well in ninth grade because I would leave school. We would go to the comic book shop and doing dumb stuff. But I was really into that, drawing comics and all that stuff. And then, as life goes away, you stop doing those things, but something always comes back when it's a true love of yours.
Right.
So again, like I said, I really got back into it when the pandemic, everybody was able to slow down, and for all the people we lost in the pandemic, rest in peace. That was a hard time for a lot of people, but it gave me a chance to kind of slow down, think of some things that I really like to do, because again, my other love is computers and doing computer work, so, but this was something like, and photography was a little new to me because I'm like, okay, I was used to like drawing before, and I had the artistic mindset, but I was like, you know what, I want to try this. And then I started getting in cameras. I'm all self-taught. I do want to take some classes, just to kind of get certified and learn some other things. But a lot of this stuff, all this stuff I'm self-taught on. I went in there, I bought my stuff again, these lenses, I did my research, and a lot of people do photo on your phones. You don't always need a high-end lens or a camera. You could do the same thing on your phone, your iPad, and still get really good results. Because a lot of the things that come into the picture is the lighting and your background and your posing. Lighting is a big thing, as you know, in video. You have to have good lighting in order to have a good video. You don't want anything dark or anything. You don't want anything too bright. So the lighting is really the trickiest thing in toy photography, is getting that light right, especially when you shoot inside, because you want to emulate, if it's an outside scene and you're doing it inside, you want to try to emulate the light inside.
Right. So guys, hey, we about to do a bonus game because this conversation is too good to let it go. As you know, I am the winner, but we are going to do a bonus game because, like I said, the number 4 rule and the best rule of game talk is have fun, man. But I think that's very important. I think life comes full circle because I didn't never think I was going to be a photographer. Y'all know I went to school to be a doctor, and I wound up coming out and being a photographer. But I think that's unique because what us, lighting is everything when for us, but we don't have to emulate taking pictures of people. We don't have to emulate outside scenes inside. So I think that's very different and very unique that with your setups you still have to, it's laggy, but you still gotta emulate that stuff. So I have a question for you. I asked everybody this question, so I'm gonna give you 3 options. This man is too big for this board. I'm gonna give you 3 options, and you have to choose which one you will go the rest of your life without. So the first option is your family. The second option is your action figures, and the third option is your games. So which one would you choose to go the rest of your life without?
You know what? And it's the craziest thing, because back in the day, I love Madden, I love my gaming. I still love my gaming, but I don't play as much as I used to.
Right.
So I'm going to actually say gaming. It's like back in the day, like Madden. And I had every Madden. And when growing up, I was like, I'm never going to stop playing Madden. I haven't played Madden in years.
Yeah.
So like this brings me more joy than the gaming. I mean, when I get a new game that I really want to play, like I'm really into like the God of Wars, the Final Fantasy, those action games that tell like a story, I'll get into it big time. But for the most part, I don't even play. We got the PlayStation 5, we got the Switch, we got the Xbox Series X, and I barely play any of that, so I'm going to say my gaming.
For the people that's watching it that do know my uncle, we probably are all surprised with that answer because, as we know, like he said, he was a very gamer. But I think that's the beauty of life. God, bro, Jankies. But I think that's the beauty of life, that things change. And honestly, just me as a fan, looking at your work and stuff, like my favorite piece that you've done was the Laker piece with LeBron and Shaq and Kobe. I thought that was like real nice. Then the one you did with Curry too as well. Like that was
Yeah,
amazing.
he up there right there in the back.
Yeah.
He up there.
But I think, for me, I like this better for you because, like I always knew that you did like entrepreneur stuff. I always knew like you played the game and stuff, but I never really got to see your creative side, and I think, this allows everybody to see like your creative side. Like even with the computers, like, I knew you were smart because you dealt with computers, but I never got to see your creative side. In our family, we have a lot of creators, not everybody is doing something that is creative, but we have a lot of creators, and it's nice to see, that we do the same thing in a family, but in two different ways. And
Yeah.
I watch your stuff, and when I do product pictures and stuff, I definitely, look at your lighting and stuff, because that's the one thing I noticed. Like your pictures and your quality is always good. And the self-taught is good too as well. Like, like I said, I'm self-taught. I went to college to be a doctor, then I switched to marketing. Photography was never in the plan. It just so happened that I met Justin and Leon. But, so I think, self-taught, it can take you a lot of ways, but I definitely do agree with you on wanting to go and learn and take a class, because I wound up actually doing that before I went full time, because I was like, I want to take this serious. And I'm like, if I could do this self-taught and then I'll take a class, I feel like I'll be unstoppable. And, your work is already fantastic.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, with a class, who knows where you can go. But, I definitely think, like, because I was even looking at your work, like, man, you could make like cartoons, with your work and stuff like that. So I think that
Yeah. Yes, definitely. So, and again, you gotta invest in yourself. So another thing is stop motion animation. You could do a lot of that with these action figures. So I'm working on that now too. So just investing in a nice MacBook, the camera, that all lends into making great stop motion. And of course you need the space for it. But I'm looking into that, learning how to do the stop motion, because those are really good, because the companies, they have people that make those stop motion videos for their products.
Right.
So I'm working on learning that myself too. So it's very exciting. It's rewarding when you get a picture. You take a lot of pictures. Everything is not going to be a hit. Some things are going to be misses. When you look through them, though, I mean, when you do it at that time, you loved it. You're still going to love it when you look back at it. But you can look at it and be your biggest critic, and you can say, okay, I could have did that a little different. And just one other thing, what I do a lot, and you ask me like how I get out there and all that stuff, I go to a lot of conventions too. So when I'm at these conventions, I run into some of the people from the Facebook group. So I go to conventions out in Ohio. I've been to some conventions in North Carolina, New York, of course, Philadelphia. So I go to a lot of these conventions so I can see the people out there. They can see me. Sometimes I take like business cards or little stickers of my logo, and I give them out. So it's always good to go out there, because when people see you from Facebook or Instagram, they're like, are you Holland Toy Flicks? And I'm like, yeah, and that feels good. It's not an egotistical thing, but just for somebody to actually say, because the world is so big, but so small, but for somebody to see your work. And like I said, if it's 30 people liking your stuff and you go out there, and I see people all the time and they be like, are you Craig? Are you Holland Toy Flicks? And I'm trying to put a face to it, but they know me because of the stuff that I put out there. So again, I'm blessed to have that opportunity.
Hey man, I think that's key. The three things that I got from this conversation, to kind of break it down for our viewers, is, for one, you got to stay consistent. That's the one thing I noticed about your account too. You stay consistent, and that don't mean you got to post every single day. But you're consistent, and you'll know what consistent is for your business. It differs, it's different per person, but what consistent look like. But I can tell you consistent isn't, a one post this month, another post 3 months later, but find the consistency for you. The second thing I got from it is networking. Like you said, getting into these groups, going to these conventions, with me moving to Dallas, that was the first thing that I did out here. I got in the Facebook groups to see where events were. When I started going to events, because I knew that was my niche in photography. I wanted to do event photography. So I put myself in places, and it wasn't always good. Like my first 3 events I did out here, it was like, what type of event is this? But then bearing that fruit and putting in that work, people seeing me out, and passing or packing up my gear, and then now I'm here. And then the third thing that I got was just believe in your craft, believe in yourself, even when it may not look like it's going good, because like you said, these people, you got 30 likes, but when you're going out, people know you. That means out of them 30 people, is genuine 30 people that actually really like your stuff. And I think a lot of people get that confused. You could have the millions of likes, but I always tell people, look at your engagement, because your engagement will really tell you the truth. If your engagement don't match your likes, then that lets you know the other people that's liking it really aren't really your followers and the people that want to support you. But if your engagement is matching your likes, that means that you got a genuine support base. So that was the three things I got. Y'all could let me know what y'all got. But that is the end of Game Talk. As you know, I just 3-0'd him. But this episode was more so for me, it was more so informational. We had fun, we played the game, but as I'm older now, I get to see a lot of my family members in a different light, and I get to see the beautiful things that they get to do in life, and what's their passion, and what has fun. And I feel like y'all got to watch us play the game for y'all enjoyment, but for me, this was like I got to relearn my uncle from Freddie to now Fred is getting to learn Uncle Craig and not Freddie, Uncle Craig. So I definitely think that was a blessing. I'm hope y'all guys can get something from it, because I know I did. And one more time before we go out, can you tell everybody where they can follow you at?
Yeah, I would say let's go Instagram, Holland Toy Flicks, HOLLAND TOYFLICKS, and that's on Instagram. Send me a like, send me a message if you have any questions. I'm always open to help, because a lot of times people make it very competitive.
Right.
I don't look at it that way. I want people to ask questions, and I can give them advice, like even down to where did you get the action figure from? Because sometimes they sell out quickly, so that's a whole different story, right? For a different day. But I want to be able to help people out so they could be the best if they want to venture into it. Again, anything that you do, you have to love it. It ain't always about the money. It ain't always about the clicks and likes. You have to love it, because at the end of the day, if there was no Instagram, no Facebook, no Twitter, or X, they call it now, you're doing it for yourself and your enjoyment, and for anybody else that likes it. Like now, my wife looks at it. Before, she was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing with these toys?"
I think the whole family was like that, but now they understand it. Yeah.
Yeah, she sat down and looked at those pictures, and she was showing her friends. She was like, "Oh my God, how did you do that?" And I kind of explained to her. Yeah. When she found out how much most of them cost, it wasn't the same response, but she knows this is it's something that I enjoy. It is something that relieves stress, and because I still have my 9 to 5 that I do every day. Right. But this is something that I can come home to. I can relax. I can kind of, disconnect real quick. And a lot of, like I said, this is not the real world with all the things going out in the world. Why not have a little bit of fantasy in your life, a little bit of action figures? Because what it does is it helps you escape a little bit, because we know the real world is around the corner. Every time you walk out the door, every time you turn the TV on, the real world is there. So this is like an escapism, and it's a beautiful escapism for me. Right. So that's that. I'm going to continue to do it as long as I can.
Yeah, and it's healthy. I think we all need something to nowadays where it's like the pressure, especially with my generation, of having to go, and I definitely think having that platform, whatever it is, that's why I created this. Like, I had a bad habit of playing the game a lot, so I said, why not actually turn my bad habit into a good habit? And stuff like this allows me to network, allows me to get information, but at the same time, it also allows other people to learn. So now I'm turning my bad habit into a good habit, and like you said, I'm able to turn off everything that's going on. Not completely, you don't want to just batch, but I definitely think everybody needs a healthy outlet. But again, I appreciate you. Like I said, this was like the next level of life. I feel like for me, getting to know my uncle as the 25-year-old me and not the 14 or 7-year-old me. And I hope y'all guys learned a lot from him. I know a lot of people that watch this are in the photography community. So, this is something before I saw him do it, I didn't even know about it, even though I know it's probably a big community out there. But this is the stuff that us entrepreneurs need to bring light to, because just because it's a big community, it's still another bigger community that may not know about this stuff. So I definitely appreciate you. Y'all guys, make sure y'all check them out. Y'all make sure y'all check the sponsors out, because without them, this would not be a thing. And make sure y'all guys like, subscribe, comment, and let us know what you want next. Game Talk, we out.